Today we're going to talk about resizing photos in Photofiltre. Photofiltre is a photo editing program like Photoshop. The difference is Photofiltre is free, Photoshop is not. Photoshop has support and it has more options, and Photofiltre does not. Photofiltre does have some plugins, but nowhere near what Photoshop would have. And you've heard people on the internet talk about that something's been photoshopped, and usually they're talking about something that's been done to a photo that's outrageous. And you can do some of those things with Photofiltre, but nothing like you can do in Photoshop. It's just become the buzzword, if you would, like Band-Aid became the adhesive bandage. If you want to learn more about that, you can click on a link I have on my website that says, "What does Photoshop mean?" And that is at fernwoodcomputerservices.com. And I may speak a little bit about that later in the video. But for now, we're going to do a simple beginner's tutorial for resizing a photo in Photofiltre. The first thing you'll need is Photofiltre. And if you don't have it, we should go get it. I'm in Firefox, which I prefer. And I'm going to click the plus tab, and that opens a new window. And I'm going to type in the address bar, not in a Google search, not in a search, but in the address bar, Photofiltre, F-I-L-T-R-E, .free.fr. FR standing for French because French was the program. Hit enter. It is a French program, has an English version. So now you're at the Photofiltre homepage. And the reason why I didn't want you to use a search feature, whether it be Google, whether it be your default search, within Firefox it is now Yahoo, is because if you use a search feature to find a program that you want to download, you are being faced with sorting through results, and you may get on a page that downloads a lot of software. You may get a program that is not right, or you may get a virus or other unwanted software. So on the home page, you see here at the bottom there's two links, one for French, one for English. Of course, we want English. Click on that. A new window opens and it says news at the top. But what that really means is it's telling you about the new versions, and the latest version of Photofiltre is 7.1.2. Click on that. And then you're going to be presented with a new page that has two links at the top. These two links are different forms of this same application. The first one comes with setup. That means if you download this, you can install it in the type of program where you hit next, accept the license terms, which is always free, next, and so on, and it becomes a part of your operating system. The second one is in a zip format, which I like because that way it's just in a folder. It's not part of your operating system. You can back it up. You can put it back on your computer, and you never have to worry about going to download it again. So I choose the zip version. And I've downloaded this a couple times already, but if you'll click this, and it should download to your downloads folder, and then up here, your arrow will turn blue if you're in Firefox. Click on that, and you will see that your Photofiltre is in your downloads folder. Just click on that. And I have an extraction program called PZip, but normally people will just have Windows extraction tool, and that's fine. You just tell it to extract to wherever you want it to go. I'm going to extract all to the desktop. Click OK, and you see your program files are being extracted there. And it opens to show you that. But I'm going to close this folder, minimize the browser, and go straight to the desktop where Photofiltre folder is. Now that entire program is in this folder. If you've installed Photofiltre instead, you will have to go down to your start programs and then find your Photofiltre in your program files. But this one is in a folder. So what we're going to do is double click this. Being a little cranky, but normally double click should open it. When it's open, you'll see there is a lot of files in there that you will never use. These are all part of the program itself. The thing we're really looking for is that multicolor icon with the film strips on each side. That's actually Photofiltre, the program. And so you won't have to deal with all these programs, and you won't have to deal with opening the folder again. Let's put a shortcut on the desktop. So let's right click right on that icon, go down to Send To, then go up to Desktop, Create Shortcut. Now we can close this and never look at it again if we don't want to. We'll just put this up out of the way, and here's our shortcut. So now let's open Photofiltre. Double click on that. Obviously, this is being more cranky than I want it to, so I'm going to right click and open it, but double click should still work. Okay, Photofiltre is now open, and you can see it has many tools across the top. We have tools to the right and a color palette, and we have an image browser at the bottom. We're not going to use these tools today. These may be part of other videos that we do later down the road. But what we're going to do is simply resize a photo. So what we need to do is go get a photo. Click File, click Open, and my photos are on my desktop in a folder called Samples. I'm going to click a photo. And now I have a photo in the middle of my program, which looks fine. This is a photo that needs resize. So you may say to yourself, why would I resize a photo? It looks fine. Well, it looks fine because my program told me to see it fine. I'm actually seeing it. If you look up here at the bar, I'm seeing it at 19% of what it really is. Now, what happens with that photo is if you don't resize it, it's going to be heavy, meaning it'll take a long time to download on somebody's phone or on internet connection that might be slow, or it may even look distorted on web pages that you put it on. So, you know, because if you look at it at what it really is, it's at 100%, it's huge. You have to scroll back and forth, and that's no way to view a photo. So what we want to do is resize it to suit monitor screens. So here's what we do. We go up to our tools to image, go down to image size, and this dialog opens, and that tells us a little bit about this photo. It is 4,000 pixels wide. Pixels happens to be computer language. That's how this monitor sees. Your monitor sees in pixels. But if you changed it to inches, you could also see that it's 22 inches wide. That's a fairly wide picture, not something we want displaying on somebody else's monitor. So let's change it back to pixels so that we're using computer language. And let's go ahead and change the width of this photo. Now, over time, the width that is comfortable for monitors has changed, and it will continue to change. Right now, they say the average that is comfortable is 1,000 pixels wide, and so we're changing it. Well, you notice here the height is also changing when I change this. The reason that's changing is something called aspect ratio. If this did not change, the picture would become distorted. Let's show you just exactly what I mean by that. Let's cancel that. Let's do it again and do image size. Let's uncheck that preserve aspect ratio. Let's put 1,000 pixels in there again. You notice the height didn't change? Now, if you didn't do the math on this, you would not know what height it really needed to be. And your program's not doing it because you unchecked that. So let's click OK now. And when you do that, you get a very distorted picture, something we don't want. But if you make a mistake and that's not checked, or sometimes I've been in a hurry and I've accidentally unchecked that and that's happened, never fear. Along your toolbar up here is a little red backwards arrow. That's undo. Click undo and you're back to where you started, but you still have to size it. So let's go back to image size. We have our box checked. Let's choose 1,000 pixels wide this time. Click OK. and it went down to really small, and you said, oh, I made a mistake. But you didn't make a mistake. Remember, our viewing area is still not 100%. Let's put it up to 100% now. Comfortable inside this box. We're doing a little bit of scrolling. That's because we have all these windows open around it, but it is comfortable for a monitor, and it's comfortable for emailing, and it's comfortable to put on Facebook. So what we want to do now is save it. Now, when we go up to File, Save As, not save, but save as, because we want to do two things. One, we want to preserve the original image. So if you will name it something else, like we will call it Bee Birdie. And this is the sized version's name. The original name is the same. The original will stay the original. Now the next thing is the file type, save as type. Now you see it's defaulted to JPEG, which that's correct for web and email. The other formats you see in here are better suited for things like print or other applications that you could use those in the future, but for now we'll use JPEG because that's what we need. Another box comes up, and this is the last box on your save, and at the top of this box you'll see something that says compression and a little slider that says low quality or best quality. Now in a program that was a little more stronger like Photoshop or any of those types of programs, I might use this slider, but we are in Photofiltre, a program that does not have any support. If we mess up our pictures, we're messing up our pictures, so let's leave that slider alone. Down here we have two options. One is standard, one is progressive. Per the documentation, the best selection for JPEG and for it to be the lightest and best quality in internet applications is progressive. The next thing is grayscale. If you want your picture to be grayscale, check that. I'm assuming you don't. The next one says preserve EXIF. Now, you can check this or not check this. What this is it displays everything about what happened when the picture was taken. It displays the type of camera, what time it was taken, those types of things, but it's hidden inside the picture, so you would have to have a special program to see it anyway. I ignore the setting altogether, and I just leave it checked or unchecked, just hit OK. And now we've saved our picture, Bee Birdie, and we can just close that. Okay, now we've done our bird picture and we've got it resized, and that's the end of the tutorial really, but I could tell you one more thing, that if you have other pictures in that folder that you'd like to resize, it opens these in this browser down here, and you could either double click or open as a new image. And since I'm having a little bit of a double click issue, I'm using the open with new image. No, this is not a folder filter issue that I'm having, by the way. It's likely because I'm using this new video program, and I'm using a laptop. So sometimes you'll get a little bit of degradation on other programs when you have something heavy running. So anyway, there you go. You open a new picture, and then you could do what you wanted to with that. But I'm closing that for now, and I'm going to close Photofiltre because we're done with the tutorial. I do want to remind you that you can come to fernwoodcomputerservices.com and you can register with Discuss for the comments if you'd like to discuss things that I have written articles about. I hope to put more articles up, and I hope to do more tutorials, not only on Photofiltre, but other things that I've used over the years, some paid, some free. I'm happy to share that information, and thank you for watching.